Yo, what's going on, boys? It's me, Daily Tactics here, and today we are back with some more Men of War Assault Squad 2, the Star Wars Galaxy at War Mod, and there is a brand new Umbara map. It's not brand new, I only just found out about it, but it's a few months old here, and it is looking amazing. So essentially, it is this mountain range that is being defended heavily by Umbaran soldiers, as well as a few battle droids. However, there's more Umbaran soldiers than there are battle droids here, and they have some serious heavy weaponry here. They have turrets, they have mortars, they have bazookas, they have machine guns, and then they have all sorts of infantry as well defending this massive place here. So it should be a real tough challenge for the clones to overtake this position. However, the clones have a few tricks up their sleeves themselves. They have these TX-130T tanks. They've got the 501st Legion, of course, and at the helm is Captain Rex and the boys. I mean, we got like Jesse, Kix, Hardcase, Tup, Fives and Echo, etc., all chilling here. Named 501st characters ready to lead the rest of the standard 501st in this assault. They've also got ATTE tanks, and the Piste de Resistance is a beautiful little scout trooper flank over here. So 501st scouts have flanked around the back of the Umbara military base here, and they are going to be attacking these troopers from behind. They're not going to see it coming. It's going to be beautiful. So guys, let me know if you enjoyed the video by liking it. Let's try and get 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think and what kind of battles you'd like to see next. And without further ado, let's get it going. Alrighty then, fellas, let's go ahead and press start right now, and the 501st Legion should begin to march forward off in the distance. We'll be able to see them coming on up. Actually, we can see a TX-130T sort of moving off that way. The Umbarans waiting patiently for the clones to come forward. They have mortars and whatnot ready. Ooh, I sense some lag. Oh, yeah, we do have the battle actually starting over this way. A group of Umbarans in the brush over there, starting this battle off really quickly here. Clones reacting with fire of their own, managing to really subdue the bushes there. They are shooting a ton into that foliage. Guys, I think the plants are dead. I think you got it. I think you got the kills there, and now you're just hurting the wildlife. TX-130Ts running forward as well, trying to support their infantry. Good tank support, love to see it. They're sort of skirting around the edges of the trench lines there, which is a good way to do it. Attacking head-on can result in lots of incoming fire to the tanks, but if they skirt around the edges, they can get some really nice shots off. Looks like it was actually aiming for this anti-aircraft turret over here, which can double as anti-tank turrets, and it misses, so this thing is starting its reign of terror on the clones below, getting a lot of shots off and killing a few clones while it's at it there. Tough break for those clone troopers. Also, mortar fire hitting the clones down here. Lots of them starting to go down. Those things are absolutely vital to be taken out by the clones. They can cause some serious damage amongst attacking forces. It is bad news. Here's Captain Rex up front with his pistol. Classic Captain Rex. Always utilizing just a pistol. Well, usually he dual wields, but that's not possible in this mod, sadly. Also, I'm noticing a bit of a spike in lag here. Hopefully that gets a little bit better as more clone troopers and Umbarans die and less troopers are on the field of battle. Huge maps like this do tend to have a lot of lag to them, so I do apologize about that. The right side is being pretty neglected by the clone troopers, actually. There's only one TX-130T over here wreaking some havoc amongst the Umbaran lines. Apparently, they don't have any bazooka troopers or anti-tank stuff over here, or at least this anti-aircraft gun is not in range to actually hit this thing. So this TX-130T is just managing to get kill after kill on the droids and Umbarans, but it's the only thing, like I said, actually attacking on the far right. The far left over here is getting the majority of the attention from the clone army. Ooh, it is getting very laggy here. Ooh, it's tough, but a whole drove of clones over there just died, so maybe that'll help out. Also, let's go in semi-slow mode because I want to backpedal over here to see what the scouts in the flank are doing, and it looks like the scouts are in more conflict than the main force right now. I mean, we're seeing a ton of laser fire coming from over here. Scouts moving through the woods to attack the flank of this base over here. They do manage to subdue many of the Umbaran guards who are in the flank. And they're just cruising on through. I mean, they are taking some losses here, but they're doing a great job, if we're being completely honest. This flank has worked out very, very nicely. Hopefully these clones can keep it up for a little bit longer and distract this garrison here for as long as possible. That way the clones in the front don't have to deal with this garrison later on, and also maybe, you know, this mortar will turn towards the scouts and it won't be firing as much at the front lines there. That would be really, really swell for the clone trooper offensive as a whole. I mean, that's what the whole point of this flank was to hopefully get a little bit of a distraction going here, and it seems to be working out quite nicely. Not to mention they're killing some Umbarans, which is gorgeous. Limiting the enemy forces is always nice. Okay, time to go back to the front lines here, and the clones seem to be consolidating really, really hardcore in the middle. It seems like what they're actually trying to do is cause a splinter in the Umbaran lines by straight up attacking the totality of the middle here, and then maybe they'll splinter off left and right and sweep the flank. It's sort of what the German forces were trying to do during World War I at Verdun. Attack one fortress, take it, and then splinter off. Actually, the same thing they tried to do with the British at the Somme. The British accrued a huge number of forces, the largest British military expedition in history, and they all attacked at one point at the Somme Valley, trying to break through that one part of the lines. Then they would send cavalry and tanks through the middle of that break, and then they'd spread out and crush the Germans from the flanks. But evidently that didn't work, because trench warfare is just god-awful, and no one was able to break through significantly enough and then reinforce due to the ground being torn up by artillery, so they weren't able to move the artillery forward, which you know, led to the defenders being at the advantage of having the artillery and the attackers not being able to move their artillery forward because they destroyed all the ground with the artillery. So it's kind of a catch-22 that you have to use the artillery, but the artillery leads to your downfall. I don't know, but that's not happening here with the clones because they don't have any artillery. I don't know why I went on that little ramble, but I love history, so sometimes I just gotta bring it into the fold of the videos here. Either way, we can actually see Captain Rex is still alive, which is kind of nice to see. He's still firing away at these Umbarans as they make their way up the fortress here. They're about to take out this mortar here. The TX-130Ts have really sucked this battle. This one might actually be dead because it's not doing anything right now, but they all just kind of bum rush. The only effective one was the absolute beastie boy one over here, which also seems to have gotten subdued eventually by the droids over that way. Now we've got the clones splintering off like I said they would, and then went on a ramble. So half, well actually a little more than half. We can look at the mini-map at the top left. The blue are the clone troopers, red are the Umbarans and the droids. So like 3/4 of the clones are going to the far left over here, and then like 1/4 are going to the right over here, and then the scouts are still attacking the flank over this way, and they've made some seriously good progress. They don't seem to be able to get into the military base over this way, but they managed to subdue all the guards around it. So just one or two more big pushes from the scouts might actually result in them taking the military base as a whole, but they did defeat one of the mortars there, which is pretty primo. That's pretty good. The ATTE also seems to be favoring the left side, which is a big buff for the clones over here. Hopefully it can provide some fire to support them as they charge up this hill. We can see the charge in real time here. The Umbarans trying to defend the hillside, trying to get some shots off, kill the incoming clone troopers, but the clones are just hitting them with everything they've got all at once, and many of the Umbarans are just getting gunned down, dying brutally. It is not a good time to be an Umbaran right now with these clones attacking so hardcore. But there's still Umbaran defenses over this way that could hold out a little bit longer as well. Actually, quite a few amongst these sandbags. This could be a good defensive position over here. This military base also has a number of Umbarans as well as free roaming droids, which will help. And then we get back here to where the scouts are. So actually, maybe these guys will get flanked by the scouts if the scouts manage to take out this military base on time, and then the main clone force won't have as much trouble taking on these sandbags over here. Either way, the start of the battle on these sandbags has begun with Umbarans firing out at the clone troopers attacking from the hill. Very good to see. I have to say, the clones are doing far, far better than I ever anticipated they would. This was a hardcore defense from the Umbarans. I mean, they had like 3 of these massive AA guns which shoot with 4 barrels at a time. That is insane. They had mortar upon mortar upon mortar, but somehow the clones have managed to really, really blitz these guys with little problem. They're doing an awesome job. So, you know, props to the clone troopers here. That is phenomenal. I think the scouting party honestly had a big deal to do with that. I mean, they took out this mortar here. They took out another mortar back here. There's only one mortar alive back here, and this military base is still alive. But, like, overall, the scouts did an awesome job of clearing the flank, which leaves way less for the front lines to be worried about. The only part of the battlefield where the clones are really running into some trouble is the far right over here. We have one TX-130T left alive over here, which is aiding the clones, and it did just get a big strike against the Umbarans over there. But we can see the clones have been experiencing quite a slaughter over this way, and I think that's because they only dedicated 1/4 of their force to attack the Umbarans over here on the far right. So these Umbarans are, you know, managing to slaughter many a clone trooper due to them outnumbering the clone troopers at the moment, while the clone troopers are going up against defensive positions here. The battle droids also up top here, managing to get a good amount of fire to helping out their Umbaran allies, but I think the Umbaran rifles and such are far superior to the droid rifles. So yeah, the Umbarans carrying the most weight, I would say, on this battlefield. The AA gun position over here did end up getting diced up and destroyed, but there are still a few Umbarans, one with a rocket launcher over here, managing to hold out this little pit area where the AA gun was. So maybe they can salvage that defense just a little bit. One droid still holding over here. He does end up getting gunned down. The TX-130Ts have been real heroes for the clone troopers. They managed to scrap those AA guns pretty quickly. The AA guns normally are really good against tanks as well as infantry. I mean, they're anti-aircraft, so they're a jack of all trades. I mean, those guns are extremely good if you can keep them alive. But the TX-130Ts as well as the infantry managed to nail the gunners of them really quickly, so they just did not have that sort of effectiveness that I think the droids and Umbarans were looking for, and the clone tanks managed to reign supreme on the battlefield, which is of course a major problem for the Umbaran forces. This ATTE is doing absolutely nothing except for deleting bodies on the ground. That's another problem with this, is that all of these bodies that are on the ground right now are going to be deleted, which is really obnoxious, because all of the tanks, of course, moving around, once they roll over a body, they delete it. So we're not going to see the grand scope of the number of clone trooper deaths or Umbaran deaths here due to that fact, but we'll get a basic idea once this battle ends, I'm sure. Either way, the scouts still struggling, actually, to go ahead and take this military outpost over here. The Umbaran's holding pretty steady. This one over here looks like it's just about to fall. Only one Umbaran actually remains over here, and now he's getting shot in the back from the clone troopers up top in that nest over there. So this guy's in a bad spot right now, and he's getting flanked, but he's still holding out. I mean, these Umbarans are radicals for sure. They will hold out for the Separatists no matter what. I mean, this guy's getting kills to show for it too. He's got 5 kills now. That's pretty darn impressive as he keeps on doming these scout troopers. His military base over here, though, probably proud of him, rooting him on. Oh, there's also some droids here behind this wall. Interesting, but the clones are coming on a pretty nasty flank at this droid, and they're bound to go down pretty soon here. Umbaran's still alive. I thought we'd look back and he'd be dead, but no. My man's a survivor, boys. My man's a survivor. So if we look at the minimap now, blue are the clone troopers, red are the Umbarans. There's still a small holdout over here on the far right. I'm going to stop this tank from moving forward so we don't delete any more bodies. The clone infantry can deal with it. And then there's an Umbaran holdout at these sandbags on the far left as well. And then, of course, we have the military bases too. Whoops, I did not mean to move that. We have the military bases over here. Oh, there's also some scattered oh no, these are droid forces. These are retreating droid forces scattered throughout the woods there. The droids were primarily on free move mode, so I guess a bunch of them decided to retreat back into the forest after the front lines were lost. One Umbaran finally goes down in this military base, but there's still a number left to hold it. They've also got a mortar here. I don't know how well this mortar is actually doing. Does it have any kills? It's got 4 kills. Oh, the angle of fire for the mortar is like just around this place, and I think it's kind of obstructed by those trees, so not the greatest mortar position to have left alive at the end of the battle, I suppose, but it'll have to do. It's what the Umbarans got. I forgot, we're still in semi-slow mode. Let's go in normal speed here. Last of the scout troopers beginning their advance on the military base over here. A few coming out of the woods this way to try and stop them. This guy getting a decent amount of fire out, but he's also getting hit by this rifleman of the Umbara is pretty good. Actually, both of them tanking quite a few of those shots there, but he does end up losing that little battle. Mortars start getting fired once again from the Umbarans. Not sure where they're going to land. Where are those landing? Oh, way back here. Actually, they're getting a few clone kills, so pretty impressive. But the clones do manage to actually subdue that mortar. They silenced it, which is pretty good. A few droids actually distracting some of the scouts who are attacking this last remaining Umbaran defense. That guy goes for a grenade, but doesn't manage to get it out in time. 2 Umbarans left over here. Will they manage to get more clone kills? They will get one, but one of them does go down in return, and the other gets dome shot from the side as well. So this long-standing military base has fallen. We've got like maybe 10 droids over here, a few more scattered over this way. Oh, those 10 droids starting to get hit pretty hard from clone trooper fire off in the distance right now, so they're likely to go down pretty swiftly here by the end of the battle. Also, the sandbag droids and Umbarans over here are slowly but surely getting pressured by these clone troopers. It's really a matter of cleanup now. You can almost guarantee that the clones are going to win. On the far right flank over here, the final Umbaran defense in the woods that honestly should have happened at the beginning of the battle, but instead the clones decide to do that sort of wedge formation straight forward. So these guys never actually got touched at the beginning of the battle, but now they're in full-on last stand defense mode, getting a ton of fire out. Looks like they have managed to get a few clone kills, but the number of clones attacking them are pretty extreme, and they also really don't have much cover over there at all. All they can do is lie down in the grass, so the clones should be able to just shoot them up and take them out. It's just a matter of landing your shots, and that's pretty easy to do when you got no enemies with cover. So one Umbaran remains over this way. He's actually, they're missing a lot of shots on him. I think he's just like just under this hill where it's hard for him to be shot, kind of like a head glitch type of a deal, but he does end up going down right there. Let's see, we got a little bit of fighting over here. Last droid in the woods over this way. He's getting targeted by some clone troopers right now. He'll likely go down pretty soon. Just gotta wait. Wait for it. Wait for it, boys. Come on, no more clone deaths. Let's finish this strong, fellas. Let's finish this strong. This droid's a feisty one. He's dodging, dipping, ducking, diving. He's a fighter. Wait, who is this? That's Jesse. Jesse's still alive. My man. Another droid looks like was holding out over here, and now we just have 2 Umbarans over this way still alive. Why don't we try Ramboing them, because that's kind of fun, if we're being honest. Oh, no, don't be running over any more bodies. Those tanks definitely ran over some bodies. That's fine. Alright, Umbaran. See what you got. See what you could do. Oh, God. Kind of just ran him in here. Oh, we're getting hits, but no, he ends up dying. We got like 5 or 6 hits on that clone, and we tanked a few hits. I mean, the Umbarans have some serious ability to maintain their health, so it's impressive for sure. What are you shooting at? You're just shooting at your own troopers. Bro, what? Okay, bye-bye, tank. Sometimes the tanks in this game, man. Yeah, stop shooting your own troopers. That's just stupid. Jeez. Friendly fire from tanks will not kill, though, so that's kind of a nice thing to know. Is there something stuck in the ground here or something? Wait, I can't tell. Hold up. I don't think there is. I think the clones are just wigging out for some reason over there. Either way, the clones do manage to get a victory here, and good thing too, because it's been a while since we've had a clone victory over the droids. on the channel. I noticed recently that the droids were on a big win streak, so this will boost morale for the clone army. Either way, red are dead droids and Umbarans, yellow are dead clone troopers, and I mean the scouts actually did an awesome job. They barely took any losses over here, so impressive stuff from the scouts. However, the main clone force over here took extreme losses, and I think we can safely say that it was double the losses we are seeing right now because these tanks deleted a ton of bodies. I mean, if you look right here, you can see there are no bodies, but there are a ton of clone helmets and guns and all that stuff. So these bodies were deleted by tanks. So it's an inaccurate representation of the dead, which is a shame. I can also probably say that more Umbarans and more clones died over on this area, but this tank ended up running them over. Either way, I would say that the tanks were kind of the saving grace of the clone army here. They saved a lot of clone lives, but I think the infantry would have still won regardless of their tank power, but the tanks just made it a little bit easier by taking out these AA guns and destroying a lot of the Umbaran sandbags and defenses early on in the battle. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment down below if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.